From KDFW, this is a Fox 4 News Alert.
Good morning, I'm Tim Ryan. Let's go live to the Garland Police Department for an update on the situation last night, the shooting at the event center.
Starting with the event that happened yesterday, actually started several months ago when Garland ISD contacted us about this event being booked there. There were security concerns with them, and so from that we began to work with the school district officials, Garland officials, and police department officials to set up a security plan for this event. The security concerns that they had was because of the type of event and the speaker that they were having and issues that had been with those folks before. The plan was formalized. GISD added officers, our officers, and I'll explain that Garland police officers work at the event center all the time as an off-duty job. And that's what the case was last night for everybody that was seen, and then some SWAT personnel that was in the back. The event they paid an additional $10,000 for that security last night. The plan included GISD security officers, uniformed police officers, bomb personnel, SWAT personnel, along with FBI and ATF. The event began at 5 p.m. and was to go to 7 p.m. The event was going very smoothly, and about 10 minutes to 7, a dark-colored vehicle pulled up to the west entrance parking lot. There was a police officer, a police car there blocking that entrance, a police officer in it along with a GISD security officer. When that car pulled up and stopped, those officers began to exit their vehicle, and two men exited the dark-colored sedan. Both of them had assault rifles, came around the back of the car and started shooting at the police car. The police officer in that car began returning fire and struck both men, taking them down. At the same time that was starting, we could actually hear gunfire around the parking lot. We had a SWAT react team in the back that very quickly responded within seconds and helped secure the scene. Both those men died there on the street next to their car. As soon as they got that secured, our bomb unit and what we know and what we've trained on, it's very likely that these people that do this may well rig themselves or their vehicles with bombs. And so we started taking that precaution. We started widening an area and securing that. That included businesses around in the area. That included the Sports Academy just behind the event center, the Sonic Drive-In, Sam's, Walmart, to mention those. On the other side of Garland Road, we did not evacuate any of those. We also evacuated the Hyatt Hotel that's right behind the center. Once we got that done, many of you were there, and we continued to work the vehicle from the bomb unit side. They detonated. As they started working the vehicle, there were several detonations of things they were finding. One of the first detonations you heard was to open the trunk of the vehicle. Once that was open, they found several things that they were suspicious of and continued to ignite those and look into those. There were no bombs found in the vehicle. The site is still an active crime scene this morning. The FBI forensics, along with our forensics unit, is working that. And again, it's an ongoing situation. The concern yesterday and today and every day that we work here is the safety of everybody in this city, visiting and the folks that live here. We set up a plan yesterday to keep those people safe. We had one incident where the security officer was shot. He was shot in the lower leg, was taken to the hospital and treated and later released. He was the only one hurt in this incident yesterday. Because of the way we were set up, we were able to stop those men before they were able to penetrate the area and shoot anybody else or attempt to shoot anyone else. And for that plan was successful that we set up. Once we were working last night, of course, we were stressed on personnel. Plano, Irving, DPS, again, along with FBI and ATF, continue to assist us and assisted us last night. With that, I'll take some questions.
Can you confirm the men's names and whether the two suspects and whether, and in fact, there is a connection between the event that is happening and these men?
There's a lot of things that I know is going out, and some people are releasing names. We are not releasing any names. Again, at some point they will be, but we are not releasing any names at this time.
Joe, what do you think was the intent or the motivation of the suspects?
Obviously, they were there to shoot people. We will continue to investigate. This is not going to be a real fast investigation. We've got our suspects. We continue to monitor social media and gather other intel to make sure that we're not getting any more or any threats. So we don't know their intent, other than we know that they were willing to pull up and start shooting on police.
Joe, do you expect any other terrorist attack? Was this a terrorist attack?
We're certainly looking into that. We have not knocked that out, but again, we're working with the FBI. And we will eventually figure out what that is.
Joe, do you expect any other arrests, any aiders, abettors, anything like that?
Not at this time. Again, we're working with FBI. There's a lot of things in motion right now, but I don't know of any other arrests at this time.
Joe, did y'all have enough people out there? We're hearing that requests for additional SWAT personnel were denied and that only half of the SWAT team was actually on the scene.
We had enough personnel there. We had the REACT team that was there very quickly, and yes, we had enough people on scene. I don't know that.
Joe, at what point did these men get to the Dallas area? Do you know?
No, we don't. That's part of the investigation. Again, there was some luggage in the back, so we're not sure when they actually got here.
Can you talk about what else you found in the trunk that you detonated?
Luggage, I know, and I don't know what all was inside that luggage. I'm sorry. I know that there was additional ammunition for their rifles. I don't know if there were any other weapons at this time.
Sir, in the days leading up to yesterday, part of the security planning, were these two suspects people that you guys were made aware of, pictures given to you guys, be on the lookout for these guys?
Not that I'm aware of, no.
Had there been any specific threats made or any intelligence received about potential threats to this event?
No, with anything like this, we continue to look every single day at things. Had there been chatter over a month or so from time to time, yes, but no specific threat.
Joe, when did Garland ISD contact you? Was that Friday that you all began to put this plan together?
Oh, no, this is several months ago. Several months ago.
So your plan was in place with ATF, FBI, et cetera, before this weekend?
Correct.
How
Correct.
many officers, how many total Garland PD at Garland ISD?
We're not releasing that right now.
Hey, Joe,
I can tell you there was $10,000 that was spent on additional officers.
Joe, when they exited the vehicle, did they say anything to the officer and the security guard?
Not that I've been told. From what it appears, they simply got out and started firing.
Joe, the first officer found on
Let's
them,
do one at a time.
Did the first officer take down the suspects, or did the SWAT team?
First officer put down both suspects.
And can you talk about that sequence? The car pulled up. Was there was the Garland ISD officer who was hit? Was there another police officer right with him?
They were both in the same car. Both exited.
Go through that again. Then how did that sequence work?
Okay, they were both sitting in the same car, and they had that entrance blocked, sitting in a squad car. As that car stopped, both started getting out of the car. The men came around, and that's when they saw the rifles, and the men opened up on them, and our officer started shooting back.
Now, were these patrol officers?
I'm sorry?
Were they patrol officers then?
Actually, the officer that was shooting is a traffic officer.
And the security officer did not have a weapon.
Correct.
So in other words,
He was not armed.
I'm sorry, you addressed that. So the officer who was there in the car, he's the one who took down both of the.
Correct.
Joe, the men looked like they were wearing some sort of protection on them. Can you tell us what they were wearing?
I don't have details. I was told that they did have body protection on. Don't know what type.
Joe, you mentioned luggage. Do we know where either of these suspects mail
That's what we're working on now.
So on social, you mentioned monitoring social media. Literally in the minutes before the shooting, there were some tweets perhaps from the shooters themselves. There was a hashtag called Garland shooting, Texas attack. Are you aware of those tweets?
Yes, we are. Yes, we are, but we don't know that it was those people that put that out. That's one of the things we're working on.
Joe, the attendees, are they being taken care of? Where are they right now?
Good question. The attendees last night, everybody, there was approximately 200 people inside the event center. Garland Independent School District buses were brought to the center. They were taken away from there. A lot of these people don't even live in Garland. In fact, this event really doesn't have much to do with Garland other than they rented a site here in Garland. They were taken away. Most of them made plans to go stay somewhere. Their vehicles are still at the event center because, again, the crime scene's still being worked. We ended up putting a number of them up in a hotel and taking care of them until they're able to get to their cars.
Joe, I know you're not naming the individuals, but surely you know their names. Are they on a watch list of any type?
Not sure. I'm not sure of that. Do we think we know who they are? Yes. But you're asking questions I'm not aware of yet.
Are they U.S. citizens? Are these men U.S. citizens or are they foreign? So we don't.
I don't know that.
Can you talk about the relationship between the two of them?
I don't know that. Again, there's a lot of things you're asking. There's an ongoing investigation. There are some people probably know more than I do, but I don't know that.
Yo, are you guys working with the Phoenix Police Department in this investigation?
We're not.
Can you talk again about the weapons that were used by the officer and by the two suspects?
The officer was using his duty pistol. They were using assault rifles.
Joe, can you tell us, I know you're not going to give us the officer's name, but can you tell us how long he's been on the department and how he reacted to what was going down in front of him last night?
He's a tenured officer. I don't know exactly how many years, but with what he was faced with and his reaction and his shooting with a pistol, he did a good job.
And Joe, you mentioned last night that when you were initially presented with the security plan, that you went back to them and said this needed to be beefed up. Do I understand that correctly?
Say that again.
That when the security plan was presented to you guys for this particular event, that you guys recommended that. I thought you said last night that you needed more security here.
No. We addressed them as we were setting it up.
Okay.
We told them what security we thought they needed, and that's what they adhered to.
You mentioned that no bombs were found in the car, just weapons. Can you be a little more specific as to what actually was detonated or what was exploded?
Again, I know that there were suitcases. There were some things that they could not penetrate, so for safety's sake, they detonated and got into those. But so far as finding any bombs in the vehicle, they did not.
Was that those EMP detonations?
Yes.
Do we think they drove here or flew here? What do you think they got?
You know, that's something I don't know. I don't know about the car. I don't know. With suitcases in the car, you'd almost think they drove, but I don't know that.
Any idea how many shots were fired in all?
Multiple shots. There's a lot of casings out there. I have no idea how many shots.
You
Yes, sir.
talked about the two suspects. Was there anybody else who picked up at the scene and might have been connected?
There was a man that was in the area that we detained that we thought might be a suspect in this. However, after we interviewed him, he was not a part of this event and he was released.
Okay.
Can you talk about why Garland ISD, why Garland ISD? I know they've commented on this, but why they allowed to have this event there at the center?
Again, you would have to talk with them. What we do is when they have an event there and they ask us for, we have police officers work security there all the time. They came to us with this event, said they were going to do that, and asked about security, and we assisted with that.
The vehicle that they were driving, is it a state Texas license plate vehicle?
I don't know that. I haven't seen the car or the tag.
At this point, can you say that it is believed that the shooting was related to the event? I mean, can you make that statement yet?
Again, we are gaining knowledge as we go, but right now, just as last night, we were focused on not having anybody else hurt, and we were looking at possible bombs. Today, forensically, we're doing everything. We may have the forensics done late this afternoon, But as you see, that's going to be almost a 24-hour event by the time they finish, if they finish then. So as we get that done, we learn things there, continue to run things down, we will know more. And as we do, we will let you all know.
Joe, could you brag a bit more about your officer here? I mean, I think the scenario is two guys with assault rifles who may be wearing protective gear up against one officer with a service pistol. Fair to say he did a hell of a job last night.
He did what he was trained to do, and under the fire that he was put under, he did a very good job, and probably saved lives. We think their strategy was to get to the event center, into the event center, and they were not able to get past that outer perimeter that we had set up, which was part of that security.
And what about the whole idea of holding this event in that venue? Is that something the police department can give input on, where the PD might make recommendations in the future, or in retrospect, was holding the event something that the police department thinks was a wise idea? Or you comment on?
Well, certainly after this event and after the event that was in January, I think it's very safe to say that officials will be looking into this as to what they're going to rent that out, but that's not for us to address right now. What we're focused on is what happened yesterday, making sure that we do everything that we need to do at that crime scene, and that everything that we believe happened, we can prove happened.
And is it Garland ISD, though, who makes the decision whether to rent that venue? They control the venue?
That's correct.
And the officer who was shot, he got out of the car unarmed. What did he look for cover, or did he try to attack the
No, he did not try to attack. Again, he was hitting the lower leg. From what I'm being told, we believe he simply just stepped out of the car, and that's about the time the gunfire started.
So your officer, the one who had his pistol but killed the two men, he's normally assigned, you said, to traffic duty?
Yes.
Do you know, is this the first time he's had to even fire to begin with his service?
I don't know that. I don't know that.
So he would have been working off duty with the then?
Yes.
Do you know if Garland ISD still plans to hold graduation ceremonies in that building?
I haven't heard any differently. And another thing, there's Damon Forest High School is right next door. They're having classes today. We've opened that area up, and to my understanding, everybody's shown up. It's business back as usual. However, naturally, our awareness is heightened because of this yesterday. But we do this. We do intel. We've got people that work on task forces. We conduct intel to try to keep our citizens safe in this city every single day, just as we did yesterday in the plan we'd put together. There's no doubt that it saved lives.
Is that where graduation is going to be at this Colwell Center?
There's graduations that are scheduled there.
Is that also for Saxe and Rolette?
Yes, that's part of GISD. Yeah, okay.
So the suspects, did they come out of the vehicle already holding with the assault rifles? Or
Yes,
did they go
no.
to the back of the car and get them?
No, they came out with them.
Sir, can you
Okay.
talk to the increased presence at the high school specifically? Is there an increased law enforcement presence there?
There is added enforcement, or not enforcement, but added personnel there, simply because there are parents that are worried because of what happened yesterday. We've still got a crime scene there. So yes, there is added personnel today.
And the men,
I'm going to take two more
the
questions.
shooters, you don't know what they were, it was some kind of body armor, you don't know?
I was told that they did have body armor. I don't know the extent of what the body armor
Joe,
was.
the woman who organized this is reportedly on an Al-Qaeda hit list. Is she under your protection, or where is she now?
She's not under our protection that I know of. I have no idea where she is. Okay. Okay, thank you so much. Appreciate it.
All right, this has been live coverage, and we are looking at that scene, which is still considered an active crime scene outside the Colwell Center, a Garland Independent School District building where that shooting took place. Two men with assault rifles, what the police described as assault rifles, began shooting, and a Garland police officer, uniformed Garland police officer, returning fire, killing both of those men right there. There are reports, one of them, and the Garland police say they're not prepared to confirm it, that one of them identified as Elton Simpson, who is a man who's been in trouble with the law before, charged once before with attempting to travel to Africa for the purpose of engaging in jihad or holy war against the West. He faced those charges. He was acquitted, however, reportedly was acquitted. But this was a very controversial event at the event center hosted by an organization called the American Freedom Defense Initiative. They billed it as a First Amendment, a free speech event, not an anti-Islam event. There's some people who would disagree with that, however. Nonetheless, as Joe Harn from the Garland Police Department pointed out, that single officer undoubtedly saved lives. We're happy to report that the security guard who worked for the event center in the Garland School District wounded, treated, and released. We will have much more on Fox 4 News at noon and later today on Fox 4 News anytime online.
This has been a Fox 4 News Alert. Stay connected online at fox4news.com or with the Fox 4 News app.